Video I'm going to quickly show you how you can start to format your Twine story by changing the background color or image. So this is the story that I've already finished, and what I'm going to do is just go down to the name of the story down in the corner here, and I'm going to edit the story style sheet. When you click on that, you can see that it pops up with this little box and it says any CSS entered here will override the default appearance. Okay, so I'm just going to pop to my cheat sheet now. And you can see I've already got some script here for it. So this is called HTML, which is a language we use to make web pages. And I'm just going to grab this and just copy it. Obviously you'll need to type it, and it needs to be very similar to this. You can't make mistakes in HTML, so you have to spell things correctly. So I'm just going to paste this in, and you see it starts with the word body, and then we've got curly brackets. And you'll note that it says background color. Because HTML is American, the spelling of color you just need to be aware of doesn't have the U. Now here is what's called a hex code for color. Now if you want to find some interesting colors, a great site for this is called color.adobe.com, and that will give you a color mixing tool that lets you pick some really interesting colors for your background. So if I just run this now just to show you what it looks like. Now I might decide I want the Nexus school background, so I'm just going to put this in. There we go. And that's my code, so let's just run it and see what that looks like. Just waiting for my story to load. And you can see I've got the Nexus blue as my background now. Now, I don't have to remember those codes because HTML is pretty clever, so I can just type in a color. There we go, and you see it goes purple if it recognizes what I've typed. So if I just refresh that now, and we should see that I've got a yellow background. Now, coming back to the color wheel chooser, this is a great site, look, because what you can do is you can mix a color just by dragging around these here, and it gives you that hex code in this area here, look, if you can see. So that's how you can get a color off the internet if you want to mix one. However, one of the other things you can do is have an image as a background. So let's just go back in, look, so we click on the story title and edit the style sheet. And I'm just going to go to my cheat sheet here. So for the image, it's the same. It starts with body. It has the curly brackets. But you can see we have the word in here that's different. So I'm just going to go in now. I'm just going to replace this section. Background-image, and then a colon, and then the word URL, which is the web address. Now I've already got a website here. And let's just have a quick look at that image. So my story is kind of a fantasy story, so I went with this image. But you always need to test what it looks like. So let's just close that down, and I'll refresh my tested version. And just a little discussion point here. Wait for that to load. There you go. Now you can see that the image looks nice, but unfortunately we've got some issues in that, first of all, it's tiled, so it looks a bit scruffy, so the image isn't big enough, and secondly, I can't read my writing. So you see, that's not a particularly good choice of an image. So you can set images as background, but I would say be very careful of what you do with it because it can look very messy. Okay, so let's just go back now, just quickly look at our cheat sheet. So to set a background color, we use this code here, body, background color, noting that the spelling of color is American. And then if we want an image, we use the same starting code, which is body, but then we need this middle section here, and in between the quotes is the URL or the web address of the image. And to access this style sheet that lets us edit, we click on the story title and choose Edit Story Style Sheet.